This is fun. Oh my goodness, I'm excited to film this. I'm super excited for this video today and to be finally sitting down to film it, because I've been planning on doing this for a while now. I can't even tell you how long. Like, I think I got this idea at the beginning of January or something, and since then I've been planning and figuring out how I want to make this video, which is, you know, from the title already what it is. But I've been thinking if I want to make it a tier list or a presentation or something of the sort. A presentation was sort of something that I had in my head the most, so I sort of went for something similar, because this is sort of a presentation from me for you, but this will also be an Instagram post that is gonna go up simultaneously as this video is going up as well. So you're gonna see the post here, but you can also go to Instagram, link in the description as always, and you can see the post and everything anime there, but I will go more in depth in this video. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today's video is very exciting because I am sharing with you my favorite anime that I have seen in 2023. That is, anime that have come out in 2023, as well as ones that I've just seen that year. So, I feel like I should preface all of this by giving you a little background story of how I started with anime, and I feel like my beginning with it was pretty similar to everyone else's. Oh, I think it started to rain. So we're sitting in a new spot today because I need to have my laptop here so you can see everything. Like, my journey with anime has started out pretty similar to everyone's, which is just me growing up on it. I remember getting up at 6 a.m. to see Knights of the... Okay, I don't remember exactly the anime of the Knights of the Zodiac, but I recently found out that this was one of the animes that I have gotten up at 6 a.m. for when I was a kid. I remember getting up for Dragon Ball. I remember watching Shaman King, which was my favorite anime that I grew up on, apart from the other ones because they're also favorites, but like Shaman King is the one that I remember the most because I was old enough to just like register that, and it's just one of my favorite animes to this very day as well. Even the remake is so good as well. So I remember getting up for those. I know that I grew up on a few other ones like Slayers, and there was something else, I can't remember the name. I'm gonna leave it here, but I plan on rewatching those actually at some point, maybe this year, we'll see. Basically grew up on those, and then when my kind of phase of watching like cartoons, I guess you would say, I don't know. For us here, we didn't call what we were watching like anime, they were just like shows, you know? So I didn't really realize that like it was actually anime, you know? Like animated series, but like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that sounds a little bit dumb. When that phase was kind of over, I went ahead and started watching like normal TV series, and I kind of went more in depth into that. And since, you know, I was also learning languages since I was little, so the TV series definitely also helped with English for me. So I was just like, I remember the first time that I watched something purely in English and understood everything, and it was like such a huge deal for me as a kid that I just, you know, got into that more and more, and I was watching like Disney stuff and that kind of thing. So I was more into TV series rather than anime at that point. And then I dipped my toes back into that when I was actually into K-pop, because there was one group that I liked. Obviously, a lot of people there watch anime as well. And so I got many recommendations from there, but I haven't really watched anything until I heard of Your Name, which when I've watched that anime is one of my favorite animes of all time already. And it was years ago. I think it was like, must have been 2017 probably, or something of that sort. I dipped back into anime with that, and I think like, I didn't really watch it that much. I went to university and stuff, and I was still watching like TV series, but I wasn't like, you know, watching anime. But then my older brother actually got into anime, and he was telling me about so many, and loads of the ones that he told me about are actually my faves right now. But there was one that we started watching together, and I finished by myself because I was like obviously living away from home at the time. And the anime I'm talking about is Anohana, which I believe I've seen that in 2019. I actually don't remember it very clearly, so I will want to rewatch that because I feel like right now, me being so into anime, this would have a bigger impact than it did before. But I remember that was like very sad, and I remember how that ended. So then in 2020, you know what happened? The world went a little wild. I actually met a few people on the game that I was playing, and I watched quite a few anime with my friend from that game. Now we're here, you know? I was like dipping into it and like getting recommendations and stuff like that. And it paid off because I'm here right now and I'm making this video. And 2023 was full of many, many animes, but I actually just wanted to share my faves, as you can see. I'm super excited to be sharing this little list with you guys. So what I've tried to do was just put them into two categories, which is like obviously the ones that came out in 2023, so from 2023, and ones that were only watched in 2023. These are going to be only my favorites, but that being said, the ratings do range a little bit. I didn't put any ratings on here. I'm gonna tell you like a kind of a rating, but there are some that are my top favorites, and I don't really shy away from giving like 10 out of 10 sort of thing, you know, that they do on my anime list. You'll see, you'll get like an in-depth thingy here. This may take a while, so I hope you have some drink and snacks and stuff like that so you can listen to me yap about anime. Okay, great. Let's get to it. Try to make it kind of cute. Please go and appreciate it on Instagram because here you're gonna see a pretty washed out version of it, which is very sad. This is animes from 2023, page 1. I'm gonna make this bigger for you, hopefully. We are on the animes from 2023. Obviously, we are starting with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 because that was the most anticipated anime for me, even though I've actually seen Season 1 also in 2023 in March, I believe. I didn't have to wait that long, but I actually thought that Season 2 was coming out like way earlier than it did, and did in the summer season. I didn't have to wait as long as everybody else did, but it was still quite a wait. I've actually seen Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, 2022, I believe. And I loved it so much, but I was just so... I don't know why, I was just putting off starting off this anime, and then I was actually sick one time and I played Season 1 and I was just hooked right away. Just immediately. Loved it so much. So yeah, from 2023, I obviously had to include Season 2. There are like a few things that I didn't really enjoy about it. I have read this arc, like the arcs that are in this season, way before because I started reading the manga after finishing the first season. I started that and actually finished the manga after the Shibuya arc, and there were so many things that I was so excited to see animated, and I'm a little bummed that the animators didn't have enough time, that they were so like rushed and pushed to release things that weren't done. And you could see that, you know, like you could see that the character design wasn't as good at times. Like even the action that was happening was sometimes just a little bit messy, and like there were episodes where I was just really kind of sad. There was this one there was a scene where Megumi was actually summoning Mahoraga, right? And that scene was so good in the manga. Like I was so excited for him, like showing this like a little bit more crazy side of him, going like, hey asshole or whatever. And I was just so excited to see that, and I don't really enjoy that scene at all. There was this scene where Yuji saw what Sukuna did, and it had like more of an impact in the manga than it did in the anime for some reason. I don't really know. So I was just a little bit disappointed at times, but at the same time, like, the past arc was my favorite thing. I loved it so much. It's actually the animation of past arc that made me truly like obsess over Gojo. Which is so funny, but it's true. Like, it's only when I saw it animated his character actually hit, you know? Because I've seen the movie season 1 and I've read the manga, but I didn't really feel the impact until I've seen animated past arc. And I loved his character before, but I'm definitely like, I was hooked on Fushiguro from the very beginning. In the movie, I obviously like truly loved Yuta and Toge, so yeah, that sort of thing. So I enjoyed this season, but at the same time, like, I was disappointed by many things that were kind of out of the animators' control. So I can't really say that, like, you know, it was bad or something, but there were just a few disappointing episodes, and like, the story is still great. It's painful, but great. 8, 9 out of 10, like 8.5 out of 10 for that. Next, we have the Apothecary Diaries, which I actually started this year, but it's an anime from last year, so I kind of just had to pop it in here because I started it at the beginning of January, I believe. So I had to include this because I love it so much. Mao Mao is easily my favorite main character ever. Ever. And it's been a while since I loved a character so much. I'm enjoying this so much. I enjoy everything about it, honestly. And I cannot wait for a new episode every single week, which is just insane. And I love when anime does that. So I'm super excited for the next episode, and that sort of anime is a 10/10 for me. Like 10 out of 10, easily. Next we have Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku, which, if you've seen my other videos, you know that it's one of my favorite manga ever. And it's because of the first episode that I've seen of this anime that I have started the manga at all. I enjoyed the anime so much. It's another 10/10 for me. The story is so good. The characters are amazing. I just love it so much. Gabimaru is also one of my favorite characters ever. Sagiri, I love her so much. I love Shion. Like, it's just so good. I think I have a soft spot when it comes to like samurai things because I I grew up on Shaman King, and that sort of vibe is everything to me. So I love it so much. Undead Murder Farce, which is so good. It takes a lot of historical people and puts them into this fantasy mystery setting, and it's so fun to see like Phantom of the Opera or Sherlock Holmes or vampires, and there were werewolves, and I love that sort of fantasy with the mystery aspect to it where they are solving those mysteries and everything. It's so good. I hope that there will be another season, but I know that there's not enough content for now from I believe light novels to actually adapt it into another season. So I would recommend that a lot. There's another like 9 out of 10 for me. Hell's Paradise is gonna get another season, which I'm so excited about. Can't wait to see it. And we have Dark Gathering, which is, I think, my first horror anime that I have started. The first episode was definitely super creepy, and I have finished it, but it wasn't like anything crazy to me. But it was definitely a little bit creepy and spooky at times, but it's obviously pretty hard to do anime that is kind of, you know, actually very scary. It's about a girl who's looking for a ghost that killed her parents, and she meets this guy who can sense the ghosts while she can see the ghosts. And she's got this, I think that is her sister, or is just someone who takes care of her, and she's got the same curse on her as the guy does. And it's because of the guy that she's even got the curse. And they form like this little group that hunts ghosts to help Yayoi, which is the little girl, to find that ghost that killed her parents, as well as break the curse that is both on Keitaro and on Eiko, which is Eiko is the girl who takes care of Yayoi, and Keitaro is the guy who can see, who can sense the ghosts. I would give that like a 7 out of 10. It's 7.5. It's very solid. I enjoyed it because I did finish it and it has like 25 episodes. So the girl I like forgot her glasses. You know already that I love this, and because of that I actually started the manga where the episode of the anime had finished when I decided that I want to start the manga. Basically about a guy who crushes on a girl that keeps on forgetting her glasses. And it's just such a sweet story. I love it so much. It's 8 out of 10. Then we have Horimiya, Piece, the missing pieces of like their lives. If you've seen Horimiya, then you know what this is about, but it's basically like a romance comedy slice of life sort of thing, and it's just so good, super funny. It actually made me laugh many times, so yeah, I would recommend that as well. It's very good. 8 out of 10. Loved it. Zone 100 Bucket List of the Dead, and this was so much fun. Like, it's basically about a guy who's super ecstatic that there's there's a zombie apocalypse happening because he doesn't have to go to work, where he was just getting overworked all the time. He could basically sleep at work. And there's a zombie apocalypse, obviously, and he finds like his best friend, and they meet a girl, and they just sort of form like a group of survivors, and it's just very, very fun. It's not your typical zombie thing. This is very fun, and they're all grown-ups as well because they, you know, started work and stuff like that. That is a 9 out of 10. I loved it so much. It actually has a live action movie as well, but there's just no way that a normal live action movie is going to showcase as many emotions as anime can. And in this case, that was actually what happened. There was just, the live action was lacking, and this anime actually went beyond where the live action ended. But I watched the live action because the anime was paused. It was unfortunately on a very unfortunate time slot that season, and it was the summer season when it came out. It was just very sad because we had to wait until Christmas. Like, literally, I think it came out on the 25th December, the last 4 episodes or something. And I'm just glad that they got to do it, because I believe that this is some sort of a new studio that did this anime, and they did such a wonderful job, and I hope that they succeed at making other anime as well, and that they continue on with this one if there's enough content. I don't know if there is, I haven't checked, but I hope so. Then we have A Galaxy Next Door. It's a very fun, just romance, supernatural sort of thing, about a young girl who decides to come to the city to like sort of try and live her life, but on her island she's a princess, and she's not exactly human either. She meets this guy who writes manga and becomes his assistant, because she always wanted to become a mangaka herself, because she loved manga and she loved to read. Little siblings that he's taking care of because parents have passed away. And yeah, it's just a very sweet, I would say, slice of life also story. And I love these kids so much. The cutest. I love them so much. It's just a very comforting, like, very nice anime that I would really recommend. I would give it like a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Then we have The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen, From Villainess to Savior. This is an isekai anime, and about a girl who gets obviously reincarnated into a character in the game that she was playing, and she gets reincarnated into a villain, and she wants to become the opposite. It's very fun as well, which is why I put it here. It's not like super crazy good. It's like a solid 7.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10 sort of thing, but I enjoyed it enough to put it here. So there's quite a few, so we're gonna be here a while. This is Liar Liar, which is like a suspense psychological game sort of setting about a guy who gets accepted into a school even though he's like at the lowest level, he reaches like the highest. Like he appears to be the highest to others, but he's not, you know. He's actually very weak, and he's got like, they have this like star rating or whatever, and he's got like 1 star, and he appears to have like 6 or whatever. He's just very, very cunning, I guess. And yeah, this is basically an anime about like this guy trying to I think find someone on the island. I don't know. We just get so much into the game that you kind of forget the real premise of it, but he's got like this deal with the principal. So yeah, I mean, it was fun enough for me to watch until the end and put it on here. I enjoyed this sort of game anime, so here. But it's like a 7 out of 10, I would say. Not like a total favorite, but I have the ice guy and his cool female colleague, which I actually started reading the manga after I've seen this. Super sweet, super like lighthearted romance, funny. The characters are great. A setting of work, so it's adults if you care about that. I don't really mind if I'm watching about adults or about teens, but I know that some people like just prefer to watch about like one or the other. This is very solid, 8 out of 10. Enjoy it. Same with the manga, also very good, also enjoy it. Then we have Daddies, which was so fun for me to watch because Ray actually reminded me of Gilbert from Pandora Hearts so much, and it was like fun for that reason, but also it was just like full of action and comedy, and they were spies who were taking care of Miri, which is this little girl, and yeah, it was just the cutest. They became dads, you know, and it was just so fun to follow story, and that's a solid 8 out of 10 again. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. It's about a girl who lives next to this guy. I cannot remember their names, sorry. They are neighbors, and she comes over to help him out a lot. They basically bond. It's a romance. It's cute. I enjoyed this so much that I binged it in one night. I think I was watching it until like 4 a.m. or something, but I just enjoyed it so much, and yeah, it's a 8 out of 10. We have Kubo Won't Let Me Stay Invisible, another anime that I have enjoyed so much, but it actually got put off. So it was, I think it came out in winter season, but it actually got pushed with the rest until the spring season. So enjoyed it a lot. I love Shiraishi so much, and Kubo is the cutest as well. I actually, after finishing the anime, I have read the manga as well. It's a thing that I do. You can probably tell already. It's so fun. It's very lighthearted, but there's also like a few deeper moments where like Shiraishi is figuring out, I guess he's figuring out himself and why he is invisible and how to like kind of make friends, and he's reflecting on that stuff while when he does make those friends. It was amazing. 8 out of 10. Then we have Sweet Reincarnation, which I have started because this is about someone who's a baker. I just love this so much. I enjoyed it. Like, it's just a light-hearted little silly anime. It's also an isekai. It's about a guy who was like making the biggest cake or whatever, and the cake fell on him and he passed away and got reincarnated into a world where they're like part of some sort of royal family or whatever. They're not like the one of the biggest families in that world, but they're still like sort of known, and he wants to basically make a world where everybody is happy and has sweets. Which is just, you know, just lighthearted and fun. And there are some like action scenes where they are like fighting. There's some sort of like, you know, battle, and there's just like baking elements, and his dad is like actually super jacked. which is kind of funny, but it makes sense. It's just the vibe is very cool. The setting is very nice. Like a 7.5 out of 10. Then why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's mansion, I also am putting here because for some reason I really like this sort of like princess isekai sort of stuff. This was sort of like that. This is also someone who got reincarnated into a book this time that they were reading. yeah, she got reincarnated into Raeliana, who, in order to save her life, made a deal with the Duke. It's very fun. Like, I love it a lot. And there's this guy, what's his name? Arthur? I think he was Arthur. It's like a bodyguard of hers and of Noah's, who's the Duke. And it was very fun. I enjoyed it. And I kind of snuck a peek at the manhwa, because it's based on the manhwa, which is a Korean version of manga. I just, snuck a peek at what was going to happen, and it's very fun. I do hope that they will make another season, but I know that a lot of anime does not get another season, and that's a shame, but that happens a lot. So, Raeliana, 7.5 out of 10. We have Tomo-chan as a girl. I enjoyed this so much. It was super funny, and I loved Tomo so much as well. This is an easy like 8 out of 10, just for the laughs and for Tomo. Like, it was great. I loved it. It's basically about a girl, Tomo, who is a male best friend, and he doesn't really see her as a girl because she's kind of a tomboy. So she's trying to make him see her as a girl because she's crushing on him. And it's just so much fun. I love it. And we have My Happy Marriage, which is a very fun historical setting, supernatural fantasy sort of thing. As much as I love the story and I love the setting, I love the vibe, I kind of don't love the animation at certain parts, and it's maybe not animation, more like character designs, because their faces just look weird from certain angles, kind of ruining the vibe. And we all know that when we watch something like that, like we like for those things to look pretty, because it's one of those that should look kind of like prettier, but their faces are a little bit strange, like they're a bit like deformed from certain angles, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, it's a very cool romance, kind of like a Cinderella retelling, I would say. Yeah, it's just very fun to see how he takes care of Mio, and Mio is the main character girl who is basically the Cinderella, and she was just treated so badly, and they sent her to Kyoka, who is said to be the coldest guy ever, who's like made every single girl that he's been with break the engagement. When she gets there, like, he really cares for her, and we get into this story of theirs, and he really cares for Mio, and they kind of fight out that they were wrong, because they wanted to, like, her family wanted to make her go to him so that she would feel bad, so that she would be treated badly again. Like, kind of wanted to just push her into another shitty setting, but they were so wrong, because people were wrong about Kyoka, because he was just tired of the woman who only wanted his money. Yeah, it's very fun. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. We have Spy Family Season 2. Everybody knows Spy Family, so I hope you do too, so I don't have to explain it. But this is an easy, like a 9 out of 10. I don't know if it's a 10/10, but it's a 9 out of 10 for sure. I really enjoy it a lot. It's one of those anime that actually makes me laugh out loud. Manga does the same thing, and that's a very rare thing, I feel like. I can't wait to see a lot more whenever they make another season. The anime that I have seen in 2023, which we're gonna start with, watched in 2023. Hopefully you can see that. We're gonna start with a row of basically only Black Butler. We have Black Butler Season 1, Butler 2, which is like a Season 2, I guess, Black Butler Book of Circus, Black Butler Book of Murder, and Black Butler Book of the Atlantic. This is about Shiel, who survived a tragedy, and he's one of the most important people in the country, I guess, and his butler is a demon. They made a deal, and so he serves him, and it's just this whole story. I would recommend it. It's a very good one. I think they're actually making a new season for this year. Glad that I have seen this, because this is kind of a classic. Still yet to read the manga, because I know the manga follows a different plot than they executed in the anime. But yeah, I truly enjoyed it, and It's like a 8 out of 10 for every single one. Although the movies were my favorite because they are sort of like loosely based on actual movies and books. Because this is like Book of the Atlantic was basically giving Titanic. And it was so funny. There's this one scene where they literally do the Leo and Kate pose on this ship. And it was just so freaking funny. Book of Circus, I can't remember what I was thinking about that this was very good as well. And Book of Murder was giving like very much Agatha Christie and Then There Were None vibes. I enjoyed all of these, and I would highly recommend that you see them if you haven't somehow. Maybe you're new to anime like I was. Romantic Killer, which is an anime that I've seen on Netflix. And I actually just like played it randomly, but it ended up being so funny. And the plot was like just really nice. It was just a typical romance comedy. It was about like this little creature. I don't know if you can see him, but he's right here. He kind of made it a game for the girl to find a boyfriend, basically. But it was just like so cute. The friendships that she's made and like, relations that she formed with those guys were like really, really fun to see. And those guys also had like pasts to them as well. It was very fun and super funny as well because I remember laughing a lot. So 8 out of 10, loved it. Noragami, 10 out of 10. I loved it so much. Yato is like one of, again, he's one of my faves. I just love him so much. It's a very cool premise and I love the setting and the vibe, and I definitely have to read the manga because it already is finished this year. So I need to get to it and read the manga, at least from where the anime had ended. But I kind of wish that they would do another season of Noragami, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But this is about Yato, who is a god and who does little jobs for people, because when you're forgotten as a god, you disappear. And so basically he doesn't want to be forgotten because he doesn't want to disappear. It was very, very cool. I really, really enjoyed it. More than a married couple, but not lovers. Again, pure romance. There's a triangle happening, but there's also a lot of miscommunication. So if you don't enjoy miscommunication, I wouldn't recommend, because there's a lot of things that could have been easily fixed if they just talk to each other, which they don't do. But it's super pretty. The girls are the girliest girls ever, and I love them so much. Hiii is like a fave. It's actually like a lot deeper than you would think. It's just very fun. It's a fun, fluffy, light-hearted romance, but there's also, like I said, a lot of miscommunication, so you might end up getting very frustrated with certain things. Say 8 out of 10 for me. The Eminence and Shadow. And I have chosen only season 1 because season 2 did not really hit for me this year when it came out. I mean last year when it came out in 2023. Enjoyed it, but I feel like season 1 was like actually so ridiculous to me that I ended up like really loving it. It's an 8 out of 10 again, but I actually played the game, Master of Garden. You know, like if I didn't like the anime, I wouldn't play the game. Isekai again is basically about a guy who always wanted to be a superhero, let's say, and he dies in his first life and is reincarnated into another, where he actually becomes someone, becomes the Eminence in Shadow. And his name is actually Shadow, so it's just so funny, super ridiculous as well. So I would recommend for just the fact that it's going to confuse you all the freaking time, because the main character just does things the opposite way, because he doesn't want to be a main character, he wants to be an NPC. So he does things in ways that you would think that he would do something, because that's just how everybody would do it, and he's not gonna do it. He's gonna do it the opposite. So it's that sort of thing, and it's so funny and fun to watch in that sense. Then we have the Promised Neverland, which is anime that I've seen recommended a lot, and I enjoyed season 1 so much, but season 2 was actually pretty disappointing, to be honest with you. Especially the ending. If you haven't seen it, please mute me for a bit. I'm gonna like leave a timestamp when you can unmute. Like, they came out in the normal world and it was in New York, I'm sorry? Like, the New York confused me so much for some reason. I don't know. It's just so weird to me that they, like, ended up being in New York and living there. It's just, I don't know. That's ending in itself kind of put me off. So that's all I'm gonna say. It was, season 1 was great. Like, 9 out of 10. So good. Sci-fi, very twisted, but just so good. I love characters who are like very brainy, and this definitely had those. And this guy, I can't remember his name. Actually, reminds me of someone from Shaman King. So that was also very fun for me to kind of see, I guess. The one was so good. Like, it was crazy good. I would highly recommend. We are starting off with Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, which season 1 to me, 10/10, loved it so much. It's just great. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was so fun. It was very funny at the time. It wasn't as like dark and dramatic as it is in season 2. That season 1 is just like very good vibes and very good memories from it. Season 1, great, 10/10. Then we have Violet Evergarden the movie and Violet Evergarden the anime series, and both of them are 10/10 for me. I cried so badly. Like, I remember I remember being recommended this, but I didn't realize that from like episode 4 onwards, I would be just crying every single freaking episode, and I was crying at the movie as well. And it was just beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful that I don't see how you could not cry, you know? Like, do you not have emotions? It was crazy good. Beautiful, wonderful stories. I loved them so much. I even watched one of the movies with my mom, and she enjoyed it as well, but other movies were not my faves. Like, these 2 things are my faves. So yeah, even my mom enjoyed that, and she doesn't really watch anime. The fact that she watched it and she enjoyed it was huge. But yeah, I think that you've also heard about this before, so I'm not gonna get into it. Then we have Erased, which took me a while to get to it. Mystery, it's suspense, it's supernatural, it's like everything, literally. It's about a guy who goes back in time to save a girl from getting kidnapped and killed. And it's the craziest thing, in my opinion. Like, I loved it so much. And there were so many twists, so much mystery around it, and so much tension as well at times. Like, I think I binged it, actually, because I loved it so much, and I couldn't wait, you know? Like, I don't know how people watch this and were waiting a week for another episode. Like, this is some of the best anime ever, in my opinion, and that is definitely like one of my all-time faves. I don't know if that says a lot to you, but it says a lot to me. That this sort of premise, the way that it was handled, like the plot and everything, was wonderful. It's at 10/10 again. We have Fate Stay Night Unlimited Bladeworks. It was so good. My brother had told me about Fate, like the entire franchise of Fate, for so long, and I still have the 3 movies to watch, actually. The 3, like, I guess, main and most popular movies. Vince Feel. Like some other ones, I think I've seen Whispers of Dawn at some point last year in 2023. I've seen that. But yeah, my brother had told me about these for so long, and before I actually sat down to watch them. I'm putting Unlimited Bladeworks on here because it's one of those anime that when I finished it, I was like, yeah, that was good. Like, it was good. When I was finished with it, right? The time, when time passed, the more I thought about it, actually, and about like the scenes where Shiro was fighting Archer, and if you know, you know. And like, there was just something so good about it that when I was done with it, like, my rating sort of was going up as I was thinking back to it, rather than just after watching it, you know? Does that make sense? I don't know. I loved it so much. Like, it was great. It's a 9 out of 10. For me, personally, please don't kill me. I enjoyed it a lot. I still have to see the movies and see how that goes and what is all that about, but it's very good. I really enjoyed it. And I've seen other ones as well, but that's maybe for another video if you're gonna want that. I still think about this anime sometimes. I really do. I enjoyed it so much. It was so well made. This one on the list is my top anime. Oh my god. It's Dororo. I loved it so much. Like, I cannot tell you how pissed I was when, like, things were happening to Hyakimaru, and it was just such huge injustice. I was raging inside. Like, it was just blowing my mind that was like the people were like that. I was just feeling for Hyakimaru getting like all his limbs back and everything while killing all these monsters and stuff, and like him experiencing the world really for the first time. And I actually at first thought that I didn't know if I would be able to get through anime because of him like having only prosthetics, and that's not to say that like I'm like, you know, disgusted by them or whatever, because I'm not. It's something that kind of like always gave me chills, if that makes sense. Like it's not in a bad way, because like, you know, incredible that people get to have them and function again when they lose a limb or something. There was just something always for me about those sort of things that was just kind of like chill inducing. Like it's a weird thing to describe. I don't know. Thought that it would maybe not be for me for that reason. But I remember even my brother telling me about this anime, and he told me like a few times, and after like the most recent, I actually sat down to watch it, and I ended up loving it so much, and it really wasn't bad. I was sort of laughing that I kind of conquered my fear. And yeah, it's a beautiful story. I loved it so much, and I recommend it to everyone. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's everything. It's everything and more. Movie, Love Me Not, which was just a oh yeah, Dororo is like 10/10 for me, easily. I think you already figured that one out. Love Me Not, which is a movie, and it's just very lighthearted. It's kind of like a drama sort of romance, full romance sort of thing. Two girls that are complete opposites kind of become friends, and there's like crushing on these guys happening, and then in a pretty sweet way. So that's one thing. But yeah, I enjoyed it, so I put it on here because it was just it's sort of like, even though it's a drama, comforting to see. And so I put it here, and yeah, it's like a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. There's like a manga, I believe. I might have to read that as well, though. My friend has read that and she enjoyed it. I think she gave it like a 4-star or something. Then we have another anime that is like one of my top faves, Hono Oto Tomare, Sounds of Life. I love this so much. The soundtrack for this, oh my god. Like they had to obviously record someone playing the koto, right? The instrument. The music like literally gave me chills. I even got chills at this very moment. It gave me chills, and it made me so emotional, like just combined with the story and the expressions and everything that you could see. It was perfect. It was pure perfection. I loved it so much. There were like 2 seasons or something. I enjoyed both, but I put just one thing here. I love it so much. One of my favorite anime ever. I need to continue on with the manga, actually. Note to self. 10/10. Loved it. If you like music-based anime, like, I would recommend that you try it. My roommate is a cat, which I actually watched because I saw a reel on Instagram about this, where this guy went to the store and talked to a lady because he got a cat, and she was asking him about the cat, but he was answering things about himself and was confused like why she was asking all these questions about him. And it was just so funny because he was just such an introvert that he like couldn't talk to people. So it was just a very funny scene, and I decided to watch it, and the anime was just so cute. I put it here because it's one of like the earliest things that I have seen in 2023. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's like an 8 out of 10, I would say, for the cuteness and for the character growth, in the sense that he like made friends and like had a cat and like started caring about the cat so much. It was just such a sweet story, very comforting. I would recommend if you're looking for something super lighthearted. A movie, again, that I've seen recommended a lot, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. And this is a drama, obviously, also a romance, and it's about a girl who's sick and is actually dying. It's this guy and is like, I can be your companion for the rest of my life. Like, I can be your friend. And they really do become friends, and she makes a huge impact on him. And it was just, there was just something so heartwarming yet like very heartbreaking. I enjoyed it a lot. It's like a 9 out of 10. One of my favorites, but you definitely need to be in the mood for that, because it's like, you know, it is quite sad, but it's also, like I said, like very heartwarming. And I love their relationship. Did I cry? I think I cried. I probably did cry. I cried quite a bit. And things like that. I even cry in manga, so like. And the last one from this very long list, Kamisama Kiss. Kamisama Hajimemashita. This is a classic in the anime world, and I just decided to watch it randomly, I believe, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I actually truly enjoyed it a lot. It was just so funny, and it was so good. The song, the ending, season 1 is like one of my favorite songs ever, and it just fits the vibe of the anime so well. It's like very magical and creates this dreamy vibe, you know, and it's just so good. And this anime was just very, very fun overall, but also it was kind of interesting to see how they would end it, because the lives of the two main characters actually like intertwined at some point in time, but it was like hundreds of years ago. So it was like kind of a play on timelines as well. And it was like, it wasn't as confusing as I'm making it out to be, but it was very interesting. I really enjoyed it, and that's an 8 out of 10 for that. And all the characters were just very, very cute as well. Like, I really enjoyed them. And it wasn't very shallow either. Like, all of them had some sort of like past that was being unraveled, and it was very fun to follow that as well. That is my little list of all the anime that I've seen in 2023 and enjoyed the most. These are in no particular order, but you can, I guess, tell from my ratings which ones I enjoyed the most, and from my rambles as well. Yeah, I love all of them for different reasons, I think, and I would recommend all of them to everybody. If you're watching this, like, I truly recommend all of them. I guess this is it. This is finally me finishing yapping about all of these. You can tell me which anime of 2023, like the ones that came out in 2023, you've enjoyed the most. Comments, please. Like, I will get the recommendations, because I think in the winter season, I didn't really check the entire winter season, so I missed a lot of anime that came out then, for sure. And I kind of like went for it in the spring season. I was just sort of researching. So please let me know if you have like any recommendations that were mentioned here, and also just your favorite anime of 2023, whether it was a anime that came out that year or it was an anime that you've seen that year. This is it. If you made it this far, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, literally, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed my little recaps of what I thought about this anime. You can check out the post on my Instagram. Like I said, it's gonna be up simultaneously with this video, so it should be up as you're watching this already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was bearable. I think I'm gonna make one like this for 2024 as well. You can let me know if you want to see that, but there's a lot of things that I'm telling you to let me know. But like, just go for it, you know, just go for it. Hope that you're having a great day or night or whatever it is. See you in my next one. That will probably be either a vlog or a bookish thing. We'll see. I can also like make videos of like anime that I've seen and enjoyed like in general, but I'm not gonna keep you here any longer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!